Hey, what's going on? Today I'm going to show you how to winterize the plumbing if you have, say, a cabin up in the woods or something like that. Now the first step is this house in particular has a well with a well pump. So you want to shut that down first. It might be a good idea to draw some water before you get started with this operation should you need it for emergency drinking or wash your hands or something like that, but never pour it down the drain because you're going to be emptying that out of water as well. This can again just be dumped out on the front lawn. Here's the circuit breaker panel, and you can see the H2O pump breaker has been turned off, as the hot water has also. This is actually an electric hot water tank here. So make sure those are off. Just turn the sink on and wait for the water to stop. Now I had shut this down before. It actually took several minutes for it to stop flowing, but that's all we need. I'll shut that off for now, and now we're going to go under the house and I'll show you how it works here. Please bear in mind that the plumbing and things like that on everybody's house is different, but you'll be able to get some ideas. Also very important, make sure you remove the aerator out of your sink, because chances are you're going to stir up all kinds of minerals and deposits and that'll clog up that screen. And you can see there's a little bit of dirt there as it is, and you'll have very low water pressure in the spring when you turn it back on. Here's an air compressor. This one is kind of old and rickety, and it's been sitting outside. It's about 45 degrees out, and it's not wanting to start. Sounds like a Mack truck. So we need to heat this up and engineer our own solution. That's where the wife comes in handy. Just turn on the thing here and just warm it up for a little while, and then try the switch again and warm it up some more and try the switch again, and then we'll get going from there. Try again. Not yet. Keep heating. Getting closer. Here we are under the house, and over here is the expansion tank or pressure tank for the well. That's hooked in and runs in this pipe that goes up over the dirt mound and somewhere into the well. This all comes down. The well pump is shut as we had shown before. The pipe comes out right here, goes back and up. Shut-off valve. Turn off the shut-off valve. Just like that. Now this particular one looks like it actually has a drain on it, but we're not going to have to bother with that till later. Next thing is the water heater. Now over here you will see that it does have the drain on it right there, but the way this is installed, it's rather inconvenient to get to. So we're going to use the compressed air to pump this out. Okay, now under the house there is a connection for a washer dryer, but we don't have that, so the connections are here, which makes it very convenient to blow this out. Now the way it's plumbed, unfortunately, is this is the cold on the left and the hot on the right. So it's backwards from your regular sink. If you think in the kitchen or the bathroom, the hot faucet is on the left, the cold is on the right. But this is backwards. So hot is on the right, cold on the left. So what we have here is my adapter I use for blowing out sprinklers. It's exactly the same thing. Hooks in there. We're going to blow air in the hot and it'll come out the cold. The reason that works is because of this. If you notice, here's the hot out going to the house. The hot water comes out of the tank at the top of it, but the cold water does not enter at the top of the tank. There's a pipe inside that you can't see that goes all the way to the bottom. So we're going to fill this entire vessel with air. All the water will be forced up that and out the cold, which is why we have that hooked up on the cold side here. So the air is going to go in through the hot, fill this whole thing up, and pump it out through the cold. Okay, I have an inline regulator here, which is set to about 30 psi or so. It's reading 20 now because we lost some air in the tank, so I have to just readjust it. Okay, now we're going to turn on the cold water, and that was whatever pressure was left in the system draining out. Okay, I have this charged with air. I still have a leak in it, but I'll take care of that. Now we're going to turn this on slowly.
Yeah, good. Okay.
And we'll wait until that expels air. Okay, now you can see we're getting all that water out. And we're just going to let it go until it doesn't blow any more water. So it's been about 5 or 10 minutes now, not even, and you can see the amount of water coming out in relation to the air is certainly a lot less water. So we're just coming along, and we're just going to let this do its thing. While that's going, you can also go to your sink here, turn on the cold. This is actually warm water or hot, and now we'll get a lot of air come out through here. And it's going to gurgle and play around like that for a while. Your bathroom sink, again, make sure you remove the aerator. They just unscrew. Cold water. And once that line is emptied out, then we'll get air out of there. And you can see there's air already. And you can see a little piece that just came out of the pipe there. And that's again why you remove your aerator. So you can see we're getting air here, and this is actually hot water. It's still within the tank coming out. So we'll let that go for a while. Don't forget your bathtub, but don't do the toilet till later. You can see we're getting a lot of water out now. And look at all that come out. That's again why you remove that aerator. Very important. To shut this down here. And we'll shut this. And shut this off and go back outside and see how we're doing. Outside, pretty much what we have, you're seeing the steam there because it's still warm from the hot water, but no more water coming out. Shut the air now. Also now going to shut this because this is the lowest point in the house here. So we'll shut that off. Okay, so that way we can't expel any more water out of the house through this green hose. Here's the next highest spot, the hose outside. And we still got some in there. Okay, and we got just air coming out of here. What we're doing is again at a very low pressure, which was set about 30. It's not reading it now because it's open. We're just filling the entire system in the house with air. That includes the hot water tank. We're kind of going to use this almost as a pressure vessel, but don't exceed 30 psi because you could otherwise really damage something. Fortunately, the water pressure in your house is higher than that, so if you err on the side of caution, you should be nice and safe with that. We're going to go and just turn this back on. Now you can open them both up. We'll blast this out again. Don't forget the hot. That's as far as this thing goes. Tub once again, cold first. Since that's tied right in with the sink and everything else in here, it's probably just going to be air. We'll go to hot, and that's also emptied out. And while we're here, go to the shower and let that pump out also, whatever it has in it. It looks like we have mostly air here. So we'll shut that down, and now we'll go to the toilet. Now you have nothing to worry about as far as it exploding here, but might as well just close it in case. All the action is going to happen in the tank. I'm not going to open the tank just yet, just to release any additional pressure. We'll open the sink here just so it's not a huge blast because it's going to make a mess in there. And hold the handle down. Probably a good idea now is to just open every faucet, every toilet, everything in the house and just let it blast out any residual water. Don't forget other things like your dishwasher. That also has to get blown out. So what we're going to do here is do a quick rinse, start, and I can hear air in there already. If I go and open it, it stops, which means we're just blowing air out. And that's it. Okay, now we have all the air disconnected from the house. This is simply a drain hose on the well pump and its expansion tank or whatever. So we'll open that. Let's see if we get anything out of it. I don't think I hear anything. Nope, nothing coming out. Because I have the water tank, the hot water tank still filled with a little bit of water, I'm sorry, with some air, we could try to sneak some in, just a little bit. And there you go. And now I'll shut that off. And now that's going to stay off. Your well pump stays off. It would be a very wise idea to leave this valve wide open over the winter, but if you think you're going to forget to close it in the spring, then you might want to shut it now. Because if you don't think about it, when you turn the well pump back on, it's going to start coming out of here and it'll flood this whole area. Not that it matters really because it's just dirt here, but even so. Okay, now there is still some excess water in the hot water tank. This one, you just unscrew this collar here, and you can hook a drain hose to that if you want, but it's just rocks and dirt here, so we'll just let that take care of itself here. And we're going to let that blow all the way out until there's no more water coming out of there. If you need to, you can administer more air to the tank with your compressor as you saw before. And there you can see it's just about done. And just about out of there. Okay, now that that's all drained out and we got all the water out of the house, we're just going to open up all the faucets in the house. Your bathroom, your sink, everything you got. Turn everything on. And that way in the spring, when you turn everything back on, you'll see water flowing out of everywhere, and then you can start shutting faucets off around the house. So now that you've done taken care of the water coming into the house, you need to take care of the water going out of the house. The drains have a trap in them, and that prevents sewer gases from coming back up so it doesn't stink. So we need to force air down there. So what you do is you just get yourself a plunger, and you can see I drilled a hole in it. And we're going to administer air to that. You just put that on there like that. And to the same air hose from before, we just have a blowgun. And now we stick it in there through that little hole and blast away. Okay, now when you do this, there's going to be some water coming up from other places in the house. I don't know if you hear it in the background. So just keep blasting that as much as you can. You don't forget about any kind of utility drains, tubs, sinks, do everything, and then the toilets last. Also very important, if you have a jetted tub, as you see here, you want to blow that out as well. You can use your same plunger, and you just put that over the inlet, right over here, and that'll blast that out. And you know what's next. Somebody's got to do it, so it's going to be you. Just blast that out. Now you can see we blew all the water out of the bowl here. Now, this could start to smell here depending if you have a sewer system, a cesspool, etc. So you don't want to leave this open. We are going to put antifreeze in here. That'll be the very last step, and we're going to do that to each and every drain. However, we have to get any residual water in the tank out. There's not much, but there's just a little bit. Just get yourself a nice big sponge. This is, you can see, larger than my hand practically. Get yourself a nice big sponge and just keep it for this, so you can do this every year. Okay, so that's all the water I could get out of there. Do not put this down your drain because you just blew it out. Take it outside and just dump it on the lawn. This is not dirty water per se. That's all the iron and minerals and stuff that's in the water here that just ends up at the bottom of the inside of the tank there. Your toilet is probably the same way. Now the antifreeze. Now you can pick this up at Walmart, an RV place, whatever it is, the same stuff used for an RV. And what we're going to do is take this, we'll do the toilet first, and we're going to first fill up the bowl. And now we're just going to pour in here, really just so it's over the top edge there. See how it starts filling up like that? Kind of like how it is when the toilet's working normally. Just about like that. And that took, a little less than half the bottle. As you can see there, quite a bit less than half the bottle. And every toilet's different, of course. So now you have that in there, and obviously in the spring, that just goes and gets flushed out. Okay, now just do the same with the tank. Just pour some in. That should be plenty right there. Some in the tub drain. How much? Till you're satisfied. Let's go kind of slow with it. And of course your sink. Kitchen sink. And in the bottom of your dishwasher. It's a little inconvenient for me to do that holding the camera, so just pour it right in the bottom there where all those holes are, and just fill up the sump like that. Probably be a good idea to just leave this hanging open a bit. If you have to jam something in here is a good thing. If you're shutting power as well, make sure you prop open the doors of the fridge. You see we've cleaned the fridge out here. Brand new, nice and clean. If you do it now, then your place is move-in condition in the spring. So we'll just stick a bottle in here to keep the freezer door open, and something similar over here. How you blow out your plumbing for the winter, if you have a cabin or something like that. Make sure you leave all your faucets turned on. You have all your antifreeze and all your drains. Everything else is blown out. Hot water tank is emptied. Your well tank and well pump turned off. If this video helped you out, make sure you consider clicking the like and subscribe buttons. That lets me know that I did a good job making this video and I can continue to provide them for you. Thanks again for watching. Have a good day.